Alrighty, greetings everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Just providing a quick update on the inventory system I've been working on for Desolate Star. As most of you have been following, if you haven't, it's a Skyrim style inventory where you have a list of items, you click on it, get a fun little 3D model, which I'll show you real quickly. And I've been working on the move in between the player inventory and storage. And why is there a random rock flying through the platform? Anyway, been working on deleting the inventory items from either the player inventory or storage. The main thing that I was trying to change over the last week was reducing the amount of buttons that were on the screen. As an example, I also added some text on the left side there as just kind of what you're doing, what's going on. When you enter an alert, you've got a text and, of course, the fire thing at the bottom there. Anyway, let's take a look here. So we're in storage. So before I had in the lower left hand corner a destroy, use, and move button that was going to be specific to the storage inventory list. I have kind of changed it to where there's only 3 buttons that manage both inventories. Those 3 buttons will actually manage all inventories in the game, whether they are the player inventory, player storage, a body that you come across, or a canister, or a crate, or something like that. These 3 buttons are going to take care of everything based on the tag of the item that you're interacting with. So pretty much now, I've also fixed a few other bugs from previous videos you guys may have seen. The move basically moves it from one dictionary, the player inventory, to the left, which is the storage dictionary. And we'll move both of those over there. And again, if you use them, takes it out of the appropriate dictionary. So we'll say we'll use one of the food items over here, uses it out of that. So basically all it's doing is looking at the tag of the item that I'm clicking on and taking it out of that appropriate dictionary. There's nothing fancy, it's just one set of buttons instead of 2. On the left side will be, for the future, it will be things like scrapping an item for forging materials, or if I come up with some sort of market system where you sell things for money, which I don't see a point to in this game, that would be there too. It just makes the UI seem a little bit cleaner, a little bit more efficient. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here real quick, and that's pretty much all I've done. The other thing is just the text in the lower left-hand corner. I've still got a couple of bugs with the food and water system. If you overeat or overdrink, it apparently causes problems. You start to die. I don't know. I overeat McDonald's, and yeah, I always feel like I'm going to die, but irrelevant. That's pretty much it. Everything else is the same. I've kind of turned down the scratches on the player's screen overlay on the camera there. Point at something black so you can see the scratches there. I turned those down a little bit. Still working on the lighting. Still working on the asteroids a little bit. Not really super happy with those yet. I'm still working on trying to get a space station built, and of course a player kind of escape pod. The asset that I bought isn't really working out too well, so I'm having to kind of make do with what I have for right now until I can get some help to make some new models. Other than that, not much has really changed. I'm going to be working on next the player controller and the mouse look. I'll be replacing the player controller entirely and the mouse look entirely. Of course, the ping effect still works. I haven't changed anything with that. I may increase the range on it. Other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with how that turned out. Of course, the hazards, I was just still testing to make sure everything's fine with those. Everything still works. The flame comes on and it goes off when you're inside the fire. May increase the range on that just a little bit so it's not right on top of the fire. But I did increase the trigger range on all of the items, including the storage box there, so the player didn't have to be standing literally right on top of the object to either interact with it or pick it up. I increased it by about, I think, 3 units, which is roughly about, I guess, 2 feet in this particular game. So it makes it a little easier. So the player, in an example, I can stand near the storage and still see the storage box. Before, I was literally having to stand right on top of the darn thing. Not the way that I really wanted that to work out. So that's pretty much it. The inventory system, again, all it really is, for those that have sent me a couple of messages on YouTube, there's one dictionary for the player items over here. It's just a dictionary. It keeps a list of the items and then the quantity of the items. when you use something, it takes it out of this dictionary. When you move it, it moves it from the player inventory dictionary to the storage dictionary on the left. The rest of it is just standard output. I'm creating a button here it cycles through an array of the dictionary, pulls the item name and then the quantity, and then you can pretty it up however you want. I may change the button background so there's actually a little bit of separation in there as opposed to just a list of items. I'm not sure I really like it like that. Beyond that, the inventory system, I did make it where it actually pauses the game. The main reason I did that is to kind of give the player a little bit more time to enjoy, the 3D models that I end up using, whatever I end up finding here in the middle, whatever I end up finding and using from the asset store. I want the player to actually take time and appreciate that. So the game does essentially pause while you're looking at your inventory. Future enhancements, things that I'm going to be working on next, like I said, I'll be replacing the player controller with the new Unity 5 player controller. It works out pretty well. It's just kind of hard to script with, but I haven't worked with it much either. The next big update will probably be probes that the player can build and launch. The probes will do various things such as scout for you, they'll mine for you, they'll do all kinds of crazy things, and then of course you can switch your view from the player camera to the probe camera, so you can see different parts of the whole galaxy universe and more giant rocks. Go away. Go away. So yeah, that's the next big thing I'll be working on is the probes. When the probes are done, I'll get the video update out on that, kind of show off what ends up happening with those, if anything. And other than that, there's not going to be really much to the probes. It'll be a real simple AI script. It'll be flying in a relative path around the planet, looking for certain things. If it comes within a certain range of said thing, it'll stop and investigate and do whatever it needs to do there. Other than that, let me know what you guys think. If there's any suggestions you guys have, definitely leave it in the comments, and we can definitely work with that. The story of the game has not really been written out too far. I guess when I get one, I'll start working on a video trailer, and we'll actually have a video game to work with. The main thing I want to get done, though, is player actually being able to pick up items, build things, do things, and of course save the game and save the progress that they're working on. Nobody really likes a game that you spend 6 hours on and you can't save what you just did. A horrible interaction. But anyway, let me know what you think. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, and see y'all around.